Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is many a true nerd, and welcome to Let Them Trade, which is a game that has rather taken me by surprise, because you're probably looking at this and thinking you already know what we're going into here. A nice, simple, cutesy strategy city builder sort of thing. That's what I assumed, but as it turns out, this game is actually a bloody hardcore economic simulator, McJibble. You know, dynamic prices, monopolies, the effects of taxation on trade, just... Oh yeah, this game is actually quite the interesting little thing. Anyway, let's just jump on in because yes, this is much easier to get your head around when you just see it in action. So we start off with a lovely bit of empty wilderness in which we can start building, though there's plenty of a mysterious unexplored space we can go and check out later. And seriously, I just love the way this game looks because, just to be clear, the commitment to this being a literal board game made up of wooden tiles and whatnot is not just limited to what's in front of you right now. If we just zoom out a bit, yes, the entire game takes place on a table, in a lovely sunny room where there is a cat watching you play this entire time, which I find absolutely cocky delightful, but sorry, got distracted by the cat and the game box and whatnot. So okay, step one, put down a city centre. So how about we put our first town right here, nice and nearby to the castle, because that means it's beautifully surrounded by all this lovely fertile soil. And because that soil is so good at growing crops and whatnot, let's snap down a couple of potato farms, the game implying yes, this will be an excellent spot to just toss those down. Marvellous. But a potato farm needs people to work in it, so yes, we can just set up some peasant homes, nice and simple so far. And seriously, I just love how everything looks like a tiny wooden board game piece. It's just absolutely adorable. This game is wonderful. But here we go, supplies make it where they're supposed to be, our houses pop into existence, our farms pop into existence. Okay, we're off to a brilliant start here. There is, however, yes, one small interesting twist. Because, you see, if I just move time forward a few minutes, you may notice that, yes, over here in the town of Hymir, the amount of money in this town is going up. Like, you know, the potato trade is doing brilliantly. Problem is, my money is going down from 8.5 to 8.3. The reason being, I don't actually produce anything in my castle. And that means if I want potatoes, I've got to buy them from a Hymir, because once I've set the society up, I don't own it anymore. So as a result, my money is literally going down as theirs goes up. These peasants are draining me dry with their potato monopoly. However, they are complaining that they don't have access to wood. And they don't, because, you know, they've got no lumberjacks or anything, so this is where this game gets a bit interesting. Because what I'm going to do right now is build a new city centre over here. While that's just being constructed, we will set up a road linking these two societies together. That costs me a bit of money too. Beautiful. But yes, what we're going to do straight away is set up some lumberjacks in this society. Obviously, those can only be constructed right here where there's actual woods and whatnot. As a result of that, the town of Oakshade is going to be producing a wood, but no food. Hymir, meanwhile, is going to be producing a food, but no wood. Because here we go, the moment the town is ready to go, traders start going backwards and forwards here. In particular, yes, traders are going from this city with giant piles of money over towards Hymir. They are basically wanting to spend 24 gold to buy 10 potatoes. But Hymir, they need wood, just like, I don't know, burning their houses for fuel or whatnot. So they're sending their trader, the red wagon there, with a bit of money to buy some wood. And while I don't own either of these societies, and as a result, yes, they've got their own independent cash piles that they use to buy and sell in the open market to each other, as the king, I do have one very useful ability. I gain money from global trade. Every exchange that takes place between towns, I get 25% of it. And as this occurs, right, you can literally see the price of goods changing over time. Every single item in this game, yes, the ongoing market price will be constantly updated to reflect supply and demand. Which means it's very much in my interest for prices to stay nice and high, because given I take 25%, the higher the price of goods, the more money I'm gonna get when trade occurs if the prices are high. But if the prices get too high, as you can see, Oakshade is losing money in a hurry because it's buying in a huge amount of food to feed its workers. So, yes, if Hymir has to send out a trader every time it needs wood, and Oakshade needs to trade every time it needs food, well, yeah, if there's a sudden crisis where they need a giant pile of wood or a giant pile of food, yeah, society might just grind to a halt until the traders make it back and forth, which isn't ideal either, so, as I say, this is probably a more complex economic system than you were expecting from the game made out of cute little wooden tiles. Oh, and I'm sorry, you thought that was it? Oh no, no. There's a cooking research tree in this game, a research tree that goes on for quite some time. And the way the research works is kind of interesting, which is, it fits into the economy that we were just discussing. When you want to research something, yes, basically, that tack consumes goods. But once again, your castle doesn't produce goods, it needs to buy them from the open market. So, yeah, if I want to make my peasant homes better, so we can fit more people inside a single home, then yeah, I need to invest in the peasant home technology. But to do that, I need 20 wood and 20 planks. Now luckily my castle does start off with a few bits and pieces, but those are going to run out pretty fast. But yes, keeping the castle supplied, that could be tricky, because obviously in a world where you need resources in order to research tech, you want the prices to be low, because I'm buying them on the open market. But if they're too low, I don't get any money, which I need to buy everything else, so once again, this is a bloody fascinating game. And speaking of planks, right, obviously we want to have those over here in Oakshade, because that needs wood delivering to it. So having the flipping plank production McGibble in the same place as we're producing wood, that makes sense, yes. The problem being, every single villager is already accounted for in terms of doing a job, so this is why we need to be, yes, working on this tech that I've already started on. And speak of the devil, there we go. Peasant Home level 2 is now available. So yeah, if I want to, I can now upgrade this structure for 500 gold, meaning we get an extra peasant right here. Oh, and here's interesting, by the way. This society is now full. I think we need to, yes, just upgrade this place to the next level so we can build more here. That's just going to eat some wooden planks, but that's fine. You guys are literally where we produce wood and also planks. That should be fine. And while that's happening, let's start thinking about, yes, my next society, which is, can't help but notice, there's a fish down here. Fish are deemed to be luxury needs, and if I fulfill luxury needs of my people, then yeah, they will be happier and potentially pay a little bit more tax. So, society number 3 can go down right flipping here. Though we will need to, yes, research fishing, so get on with that as well, please, thank you. Slight miscalculation on my part, though. You can't build between two cities. Okay, I think I know how to solve for this. Because, yes, we've got way too many cooking potatoes in society right now anyway. So, how about we just, very quickly demolish, yes, one potato farm right here. And we'll just rebuild it right around the corner. So, okay, as a result of that, we can now, beautiful, build an extra house over here. So yeah, now Oakshade can just extend around the corner. And perfect timing, we can get some fisheries down. Lovely. So okay, you guys just work on doing some fishing. You'll need some basic infrastructure in terms of, yes, people living here who can actually be fishermen. So okay. Greenspur is immediately losing a bit of money, because yes, it's needed to import the building materials to get started. But as soon as, yeah, the fishing comes online, oh, these guys are going to be swimming in money, because they're going to have a complete fish monopoly. Okay, I'd say it's time for me to figure out what else is floating around in the world. And for that, I've got a knight, who's allowed to, yes, mosey about and explore new hexes at the edge of the world. But doing so eats, yes, scout packages, which are produced here in the castle out of potatoes. So, he just has a quick look around, keeps going on his merry way, and okay, it's one scout package for every single tile that he's uncovering. So, right. What we found, however, is bit more forest around the corner. Which might be very bloody useful, actually, because, oh yeah, this forest is now basically being fully taken care of. So, okay, if there's another forest around here, that might be where we want to expand, ultimately. And blimey, over here in Greenspur, yeah. They're currently very low on money, because they just keep buying everything. However, I think in a moment, oh yeah, the traders are now arriving to buy fish to take to the rest of society. Oh, everybody suddenly wants fish, actually, so, right. I suspect, yes, the price of fish is going to start going up as all the people start demanding the fish that's just entered the markets. Oh, yeah, just look at the price of fish all of a sudden. We're going through a fish explosion here. But yeah, if I want people to really be definitely paying extra taxes, we need to give them more luxuries. The other being wool. So, okay. Get working on a sheep farm, please. And at the same time, okay. Hi, Mia. Have you guys actually got spare capacity right now? Oh no, you guys are still working on a pretty small scale. We need to, yes, maybe level up some of your houses or whatnot. Yeah, begin upgrading you just so you've got space to grow in the future. For now, I just slapped down one extra building here, but on, yeah, the sandy, deserty bit, because that's not so valuable for farming. And then, yeah, one basic wool farm right here. We'll see how that does in terms of, yeah, production versus consumption. One might be enough. But ultimately, yeah, at some point I'm going to need stone. That's the next big thing that you need to do anything at a certain point. So, just get working on a basic quarry here in the tech tray. Because, yeah, I think this is stone, though... Actually, yeah, there's a fair whack of stone. That's coal, actually, for the most part. We'll be needing that down the line, I assume. I'll tell you what. There is a stone resource right here. So this could be a good spot for a new city. Oh, and here we go. The quarry is unlocked and... okay. Now we need to decide where to put it, because... hang on. Yeah. There's a few options here. There was this location over here I was talking about a second ago. That's got stone, also some forest. There's more stone than anything else down here, but this is way out of the way. Like, you know, that's a journey for our traders to have to go on. But there is also this island over here on the far side of a bridge. I've sent my knight and noble Sir John down to scout it out and whatnot, and, I mean, honestly... I think that might not be a bad place at all. Also, I just noticed Oakshade has also got, you know, access to flipping stone. Okay, that would be an easier solution, yes. Still, I think I know what we need to do now, which is, yeah. We're going to be expanding down in this direction. This island looks lovely, actually, and is potentially good for, yeah, coal extraction in the future. So we'll pop you down right here, my friend. Yeah, that gives you access to a whole bunch of bits and pieces, and this society should be maybe a bit more self-sufficient than the others, because, yeah, if I just say these guys have to trade with Oakshade for wood, well, the traders are going to be walking for 10 million years to get there and back, so, yeah. It doesn't need to be a complete monopoly for every single good, okay? We'll find something special for you to do down the line, like, say, coal mining. But yeah, they're still going to be trading for fish, they're still going to be trading for wool, and yeah, potentially if, say, Greenspur needs a tiny bit of water, they'll still be coming over the water to Brookvale to get it, so that's fine. Okay, so, new problem was just doing some upgrades to my houses and whatnot, and, right, that doesn't just need wood and planks and stone, it also needs money. And I've kind of spent all my money, because yes, I pay the upfront costs of setting up society, then get it back by taxing them. Okay, I may have gone a bit overboard with my new society down here or whatnot. Especially given, functionally, doing a research costs money. So, okay. We could speed up trade. We could also start working on wheat farms, okay? Someone might enjoy a bit of wheat. Actually, you know what? If I need money, logically what I need is luxury goods. So as a result of that... if we were to move up into the next tech tier, then that might let us, yeah, invest in all sorts of exciting, sexy things. Like presumably tailoring turns a wool into clothing. Okay, that's got to be a good idea. Oh, new problem by the way. Anna Bonnie just showed up. Right, so that's a bandit who's decided at this point my society is prosperous enough that she's just going to show up and rob it. Together with like 4 other people. And Sir John can't deal with that because he's one person. Right, forget the workers, we need to be working on light barracks, like immediately, because John needs backup. Here we go, light barracks, begin production of, I literally can't afford the light barracks. Okay, would some people like to pay their taxes so we can afford an army to protect you from bandits? Like I promise this is for your own good. No, we're just losing more and more money. The reason being, yes, we just spent a load of resources on emergency technology, meaning my supplies have gone down and we're trying to restock those, which we have to do on the open market, so, okay, I'm sure this is all going to be... Apparently we were still working on the worker home this entire time. That would explain why my resources were going down, yes! John, you need to stop doing this. You can't afford to be teching up right now. Teching up is too expensive, given the price of everything on the open market, though. Does anyone know where the bandit went? I think possibly she robbed us and then just left, because no one was fighting her, and she, like, you know, had all the stuff already, so... Right, that's one solution to banditry. Just don't do anything, and eventually they'll have stolen so much money, they have no choice but to go home, because they can't carry anymore. I think this is gonna work just fine though. Okay, once we get our clothing industry up and running, that's gonna generate a lot of money in trade. Especially given that Hymer is... Oh. Hymer doesn't have that much wool. We could probably do with, yeah, upgrading this society, giving them a new McGibble, though... okay, John, don't do that till you verified you need wool to make clothes. Like, 90% you do, but don't assume that. Then again, there's demand for it over in Oakshade that's not even being fulfilled right now, so you know what, we could just upgrade that anyway, to be honest, yes. By the looks of it, right. Sheep would be happier and more productive if they were next to a mountain. Okay, I think I know what we need to do. Put a sheep farm right here. And because we can't afford to upgrade existing peasant housing, just toss down, yes, a new basic peasant house right there to work in the new sheep farm. So, okay, seriously, the economy's not looking great right now. Just out of interest, what happens if I go bankrupt? Being like, you know, the king in my castle keep with, like, walls and whatever, like... I mean, presumably the people can't rise up against me, because what are they going to do to me? I've got brave Sir John, I've got walls, they can't do a thing to me. Oh, and here we go. Tailoring is now available, though. John, workers. You need workers to work in worker-class jobs. So, right. That takes a wool and turns it into clothes. The problem being, oh dear. By any chance is that going to be something that, like, peasants don't want? But workers do. Because if so, there might be a limited market for it, though... okay. I could also set the peasant home to gentrification mode. So yeah, one peasant gets kicked out. One worker moves in, though. Oh no, Anne Bonny's back again! And that could be a problem, because I still don't have an army, though. Then again, actually, she's going to Brookvale at the minute. That's fine. Brookvale's worthless. Just let her get on with it. That's a-okay. Oh, but here's interesting. So it turns out, as a king, I could just walk up to a city and demand money. They're not going to be thrilled about it, but... I mean, that's still pretty happy, all things considered. Like, these guys are really happy right now, so okay. Let's just extort them for a little bit of money. That means I can put together an army to defend you guys. So, you know, you're welcome. And I've also realised something, by the way, which is... yeah, potentially... it's not a smart thing to have the tailoring industry in the same town as the wool. Because if I just put the tailoring, say, literally just down the road, here at Greenspur, and as a result of that, the wool will still make it to the tailors nice and quick and whatnot, because they're right next to each other, but they'll have to pay me taxes on the transaction, so, oh, that's definitely the smarter idea. Right, put down one basic worker house here, and then, yeah, one clothing McGibble just beyond it. Oh, and we've even got the ability to train troops all of a sudden. So yes, the castle is converting stone and planks into light troops that travel around with brave Sir John. Up to a maximum of 6, so okay. Next time Anne Bonny shows her face, she's gonna be in a lot of trouble actually. So okay, Operation Fashion is now underway. The worker home is completed and... okay, workers are moving kind of in and out a little bit, and they're not 100% convinced they want to live in my society just yet, because apparently the fussy plebs don't want to eat potatoes. They want fish as a regular good, not a luxury one. But yeah, they're not going to be that happy unless they also receive bread and clothing. Meaning, unfortunately, my genius plan to export clothing at great cost to every other town is not going to work, because no one in the other towns wants clothing, because they're peasants, not workers. But on the plus side, yes, the wool import business, that's making good money. Okay, we need more workers, which means more worker jobs. So yeah, wheat into mill into bakery. That's got to be a good direction to go. Because obviously, this lovely land here is going to be spot on for the generation of wheat. And Jaime has now got, yeah, a little bit of a spare building capacity, so... okay, we can make this work, damn it. Especially if we just, yeah, upgrade some basic peasant houses to peasant house 2, and then turn on gentrification. That'll generate worker slots, so yeah, at that point we can actually, you know, start doing all these new jobs we're creating. Oh, and hang on. I think we found Anne Bonny again. Oh yeah, brave Sir John on his wooden, possibly slightly robotic horse. I love him. So okay, we're going down over here. We are going to deal with Anne Bonny, and I think she's robbing someone. Right now she is, and that's fine. We're going to meet on the bridge, and presumably... oh yeah, we are now fighting by tossing dice at each other, though... okay, we got some 6s, which is good. So okay, we're winning for now, but right. The problem is, some of these people are experienced, they get bonus dice, so oh dear. I feel like possibly, yes, we might be in a spot of trouble here. Then again, that was a good exchange. We are winning right now, we're golden. So okay, we just need to keep defeating those guys. We defeated 1. We've almost got, oh yeah, 4v1. And if it comes down to Sir John, he gets, like, you know, bonus dice right there. So, okay, John, you really should win this one. Like, quite easily. Okay, we took out the last warrior. Did we get Anne Bonny? Did we... okay, I think we, like, killed all of Anne Bonny's men, but she's, like, naffed off. So, right, next time we see her, she's gonna have way less men. Got it. And potentially, we now know her camp might be somewhere over here. In that case, okay, John. Go over here, start scouting out, see if we can track down Bonny and finish her off once and for all. Oh, brave Sir John has found the hideout, so... okay, John. John. Into guard mode. Attack the camp, please. There are admittedly a fair few troops inside this camp, but that's fine. Brave Sir John will win this. I am very confident, so... that's pretty good. We just took out some of your troops right there, and Bonny is now in a fair whack of trouble. Okay, just keep rolling dice. Good, though that was less good, but okay. We've got brave Sir John waiting in the wings. Like some people died, doesn't matter. Not everybody died. I think we've officially taken out that camp. And we've arrested Bonny as well. So okay, no more trouble from her as it turns out. Okay, I think I know how we're going to make the Great Bread Plan function here, which is, yeah, we need to be providing charcoal and flour. Those we need to be making before we can even get working on bakery. So that's fine. Research the mill and have researched charcoal burning. And that lovely bit of space where, yes, Anne Bonny's camp was, might be flipping perfect. Because, yeah, loads of woods around here. And you need wood to burn into charcoal. So yeah, that means we need a basic lumberjack, and also, accordingly, some basic peasant housing too. Maybe I'll let you have one basic potato farm as well. Otherwise, yes, that's quite a long way for basic potatoes to have to travel. But we're also going to need dedicated workers who are going to be, yes, doing the charcoal burning. And there we go, Rainford has now been founded. So, okay, there's also a mill, which obviously needs giant piles of grain and a tiny bit of stone. Now, the grain we've got coming in en masse from Hymer, my big farming community. It's going to take a while to get there, though, so, yeah, you know what? Just because that's a long way to go, I feel like potentially setting up the mill here in Hymer is more sensible. Or at least it would be, but Hymer is at full, and to upgrade I need bricks, which I don't know how to make yet, so... Okay, ship the grain over from Hymer, and then actually grind it here at Greenspur. And okay, Rainford's a bit miserable right now, but that's mainly because the traders are massively over capacity. And that's just because loads of resources need to be brought in, like, say, fish and potatoes, though. You shouldn't really be importing potatoes, by the way. We are growing our own potatoes. And finally, the clothing trade has kicked off because, yeah, the workers here need clothes bringing to them from Greenspur together with the fish. So, right, at this point, Greenspur is doing a huge amount of good quality production for the workers elsewhere. So that's working out nicely. Also, it turns out that charcoal burning just produces coal, not charcoal. So I could have just researched coal mining, given, yes, there's like, you know, the ability to mine coal right here at Brookvale. And that would have been great for Brookvale. Like, they need something to do, so... Okay, it's fine. The point is, we're now generating coal. And here at Greenspur, yeah, I've just upgraded the peasant home, so they've got extra capacity. And then we'll simply gentrify those two neighborhoods. So yeah, an actual worker or two can move in. So that's up to 4 workers here in Greenspur, which is great, because that means you guys can work in the mill. So yeah, we'll just put a mill right there. And then that mill can, yeah, take coal from Rainford and grain from Hymer and stone from presumably Oakshade. That'll be fine. And there we go. We'll be producing a flour, which I'm not sure anyone actually needs for anything, but one day we will discover a use for it, I swear. Okay, slight issue by the way, which is apparently, yes, now that we've got all these workers who expect fish as part of their daily routine, we can't keep up with fishing anymore, so... Okay, there are ways to fix that. If I start plugging a wall into my fisheries and giving them stronger fishing lines, right, we could produce more fish. Alternatively, oh blimey. Bigger boats needs fishery level 2 and would need planks, but that's a lot more flipping fish. Okay, insert a wall into this, you know, industry McGibble just for the time being. That'll keep the fish coming in just for the minute. There was a direct result of that, right, wool is now also immediately over capacity, so I'm guessing the price of that's going to go bananas in a second. Everything's fine, okay, we're going to figure out a way to fix this. Oh, and I tell you what, apparently, the price of planks has just plummeted recently, so, okay, I know we've just discovered iron somewhere, that's fine, so John probably discovered that down there, don't worry about it. Okay, planks are cheap right now, activate bigger boats, please. And there we go. The fish situation is now looking much more stable. Spot on. Oh, and here we go. The flour and the coal is now making its way back to the castle in order to be inserted into the research machine, so... Okay, in a matter of no time whatsoever... Oh, there we go. The bakery is available. So, that needs, yes, coal... and flour, though not much coal, mainly flour. Honestly, I'd say, yeah, Rainford might be a decent place to put this, because, one, the flour is produced right here at Greenspur. Yes, I know, we're doing other research too, that's lovely. But yeah, that means the flour doesn't have to come that far, and then the bread can be sent back to Greenspur, where there are also a fair few workers, pretty easily as well. You know what? That could work pretty nicely. So here we go. After a quick upgrade just so the town's got some capacity, the bakery is down. Oh, and here we go. We've got flipping deliveries of flour coming in from just down the road, meaning as soon as, yes, the local deliverers take that over to the bakery, oh yeah, we should be flipping swimming in flour for the time being. So, okay guys, we need like way more flour, as it turns out. Like, deliver the flour faster. Okay, this may be, you know, part of the issue with my whole we need to constantly set up monopolies so towns need to trade with each other plan, which is, it's causing huge issues in complex production chains. Because, yeah, we need to wait for flour to be delivered before we can make the bread, so, I mean, I'm rich, which is good, but society is struggling to produce anything more complicated than a potato. And that's probably bad, yes. I will say, though, what I find very interesting is, yeah, immediately, the societies of Greenspur and Rainford are now the richest societies in our entire kingdom. Presumably because those are the societies that have got workers, not peasants. This is where our most advanced infrastructure is. So, as a result of that, yeah, they're just getting richer and flipping richer. Hyme is still doing pretty well, because it's actually feeding those societies. Oakshade, though, is falling behind a bit, because it's just producing very basic raw resources, so they used to be so rich, but these days, they've actually fallen behind Brookvale, and that's just embarrassing. Anyway, small amounts of bread finally get shipped out of Rainford. How about we wrap things up there? This here is Let Them Trade, and you know what? I am so pleasantly surprised by this. Like, when I just saw the trailer of this, I assumed it was going to be a very simple little thing. But no, this has got a really cool, interesting economic system going on. It's deep, it's interesting, and very importantly, yes, it communicates information to you really, really bloody well. You can always figure out what's going on and estimate ways you might be able to improve it, so oh yeah, this is good stuff. Link in the description below, well worth a look-see I'd say, and if I'm in the right mood on the right day, do not be surprised at all if maybe, just maybe, this comes back as a live stream at some point as well. So hopefully you're looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been the delightful Let Them Trade. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Jebediah Kerman has not exploded. Oh shit. Why did that happen? 5, 4, 3. Oh, I forgot to turn the thrust on. 5, 4. Is everything else? How is everything? Up to that point, that was going better than anyone expected.